Loki, episode 2, season 1. It's getting better. With WandaVision, I was like, that's pretty good. When Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out, I was like, wow, it's even better. But I feel like they were saving the best for last. Not really last, because they got a few more shows to do, but this one, it's gradually getting better. You know, the episodes and the shows themselves. I like Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I didn't think I was going to like him at Loki when he was announced, but now, yeah, I just can't see anybody else playing the part. And Owen Wilson is a pretty funny guy, and they got one of the right guys in the right position this time. I like where it's going. I like that it's kind of a mystery, kind of an Avengers style movie. WandaVision was off the chain, acid trip, what's going on type show. Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of an espionage action flick. Now with Loki, they've got like a cosmic mystery. Agent Morbius is trying to find what he said is the evil Loki, you know, the bad Loki. He calls the Loki that's with him a pussycat. So the Loki that is out there. And from the previews, you know, we got the idea that there's going to be a lot of different Lokis. And he's hinted that there's a bunch of them, and that's predominantly what they do is catch Lokis. So honestly, if they just catch Lokis, I'm wondering why do they really need this one's help catching Lokis? It's not like this is, you know, anything different from what Loki does normally. I mean, he does bad stuff, man. He's a bad dude, you know, god of mischief and mythology. But when he got older, he became the pure god of evil. So there's that. I enjoy the characters. One character gets captured at the beginning of the show. Light spoilers. One character gets captured at the beginning of the show, and they take her, and we find out that this Loki has the ability. I don't understand why they need another Loki. I mean, this Loki is doing what the other Lokis always did, and they say that their main thing, one of their main things, is hunting Lokis. So if all you do is hunt Lokis, you had to have run into a bad one like this before. This can't be like a, you know, a super incredible, crazy bad Loki. I mean, you're the timekeepers. You watch everything. You know everything. So if this Loki is way worse than any other Loki, you had to have known that beforehand. You know, for them, time is like a movie. They watch the whole movie, and then they sit down and make sure all of the actors say their parts, right? That's basically what they're doing. And if somebody goes off script, they go in and they fix it or remove them, and then they play the role in the movie again. During watching the movie, one of the Lokis went like super nuts, and they just was like, oh, well, that's okay. We'll just wait and see if they attack us first. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Something's going on that they haven't let us on about yet. Something's happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of. Because it seems like if you were watching all of time, everywhere, you'd be aware of a threat like this, you know? I mean, they had to have been aware of like Thanos, and they weren't sweating him because they knew what was going to happen. They said that the Avengers going through time was supposed to happen. So out of all of those 144 million, you know, times that the Avengers fought him, and they won that one time, time guys knew already, and they didn't intervene. They didn't do anything because it was supposed to happen. Just like that. So if they know everything, how did this one Loki get past them that was so crazy powerful? Something else is happening. I don't think I trust Ravonna. In the comic books, she becomes Kang the Conqueror's love interest. I'm pretty sure he married her. She becomes his wife. And she's all on board for, you know, conquering time. So I'm thinking she's here, right? Things are happening that aren't supposed to happen. She's in charge. Either she is completely no good at her job, or she's helping Kang, because, you know, he's got to know what's going on, and he's got to be there somewhere. If you notice, I heard somebody say this before, and it's true because I checked it out, but if you notice, when you look at the space lizards, as Loki calls them, 2 of them look like lizards. One of them looks like a dude. In fact, one of them looks like a Nubian dude, a black guy. And I'm thinking, okay, all right. Kang is being played by an African American. Is that him? Is he one of the people? Is that why, you know, Morbius has never met him and she won't let him meet them? Maybe. Something's going on. It's a mystery. You know, there's only 6 episodes. We're, you know, 2/3 of the way through. Now, 4 and 5, from what I understand, are supposed to be really good. So, yeah, you would figure the last episode is going to be the best, because that was when everything's revealed and the final battle and everything happens. But 4 and 5 are supposed to be, you know, important. During this episode, Loki meets Loki. I'm not sure it's Loki. It's supposed to be Loki, but I'm not 100% sure. One of the things that they tell the troops is that all of the Lokis have basically the same powers, but not like completely identical powers. Basically the same characteristics, basically the same looks, but not really. And then they show a bunch of pictures of them and stuff like that. This one has basically the same powers, but this one also can send its consciousness from itself into someone else, meaning that, you know, you touch me, now I'm you. You know, you're living in me. You're telling me what to do, and I'm saying what you want me to say, and so forth and so on. It's like being possessed. She can puppet other people. And that one can puppet from another one and another one and another one, while she retains her ability to do whatever. So she could be juggling, touch somebody, and make them go over there and write a soliloquy while she's still juggling. She can have her conscience in 2 different places. And I think that's kind of cool, but I also think that's kind of telling. I'm not sure that that's Loki. We'll come back and look at this video again and see. But I would say, nah, might be, but nah, I don't know. It could be. I mean, there was a female Loki in the comics. There was a kid Loki. There was a bunch of Lokis. But I don't know that this is one of them. And if it is, I don't think that that's the actual big bad. There's some other things happening in the background. I'm pretty sure of it. Man, you gotta dig Marvel writers. When I was a kid, collecting books, I used to say, man, the stories in the comic books that are Marvel were better than the stories that were in comic books that were DC. Yes, I am a Marvel fanboy. Superman, of course. Batman, of course. The most popular superheroes, easily, of course. But if you were an actual collector, you knew that there were other people. There were more teams in the Marvel universe. There were more individuals that had risen to prominence, had their own books and so forth in the Marvel universe. There were better stories in the Marvel universe. So when they're doing these movies and they're pulling from their comic books, which they should do, because there's great stories in the comic books, when they're pulling from there, DC doesn't have like a ton of great arcs that they can pull from. If you take Superman and Batman out, that's like more than half of their great storytelling. While on the Marvel side, X-Men have a bunch of good stories. The Avengers have a bunch of good stories. Captain America has a bunch of good stories. Thor, I mean, all of Iron Man, all of them have a bunch of really good stories that they've woven into their movies. And they've got a pretty good start. They've got great writers that are saying, hey, we'll take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, bada boom, bada bing, got a good movie. That's why I kind of feel sorry for the DC guys. I'm thinking that maybe they should just start from scratch. They can't really pull a lot from their comics and have, you know, great storytelling. Marvel can. Hence, the TV shows. There's so much great writing that they can do the movies TV shows, cartoons, and the whole nine, and it'll all be good because there's so much good writing there. I like Loki. It's good. It's real good. It's so good, in fact, that I am going to give this episode of Loki and the episodes so far this season 8 bags of popcorn. 8 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you've had a chance to see the video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like this video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.